In this video, I'm going to do a review of the ArcCaptain Tig 200P. It's an inverter-based 200 amp AC/DC TIG welder. This company also sells a lot of other welders. They sell a plasma cutter, they sell the auto darkening helmets, and they've been around for 20 years. They have a lot of warehouses in the United States, so if you order something from them, you'll get it very fast. And they sent me this welder to make the video with. Yeah, and here's what the actual model on the box. And they sent me the foot pedal too. You can buy it with or without the foot pedal. I believe it sells for $860 with the foot pedal. Yeah, and here's what it actually looks like. And this is also a dual voltage machine, and it's a multi-process welder. So it comes with the stuff to do stick welding also. It comes with the ground clamp. And you got the gas hose. And this is the actual TIG torch. It's a 26 torch. And you got the owner's manual. And you got some little wire brush. And I'll show you the foot pedal. Yeah, and this is the actual foot pedal. And here's the regulator. And it's also got the DINS connectors. Yeah, and this welder only weighs 26.5 pounds, so it's very light. Yeah, and with TIG welding, you're going to put the ground in the positive side. And this is how easy this works with these DINS connectors. Yeah, and here's the actual torch. And if you're using a foot pedal, you can actually take this arc start switch off of it. Yeah, and it came with a 1/16 tungsten. And here's the parts that it came with for the torch. Yes, I'm deciding to put a 3/32 tungsten in here to try this out. So the next thing we have to do is sharpen the tungsten. And this is a grinder that I made. And this grinding wheel I got from McMaster-Carr. I'll try to put a link in the cards to where I made this grinder. I don't know if you can see that, but some people will also take a flap disc on a 4.5-inch angle grinder and put the tungsten in a drill. You can do that too, but this works a lot better. Hey, so next I'm going to assemble the torch. So you screw this piece in here. Then the whatever size cup you want to use gets screwed onto it. And then you find the right size one of these pieces for the tungsten you're using. And the part with the slots goes in, if you can see that. And then the end cap goes on it. Yeah, but this tungsten's pretty short. Then when you tighten this down, it's locked in there. Yeah, so now I'm going to actually hook the torch to the welder. It goes on the negative side here. And you're going to hook the gas line up. But I'm going to actually use a foot pedal, so I'm not going to hook this up. And then you're actually going to tighten this down. Yeah, I'm going to take and remove this arc start switch from here since I'm using the foot pedal. It just makes the torch a little bit smaller. Yeah, I was able to remove the arc start switch. It doesn't slide out of this housing very easy because it's made out of rubber, but I got it out of there. Yeah, so now I'm going to hook up the foot pedal, and it just hooks up right here. And it's pretty simple to do that. So now I'm going to hook up the argon hose, and it's about 10 feet long, this hose. And it just screws into the back of the welder here. And on these type of fittings, you don't want to put Teflon tape or anything on them. So then we hook the other end of the hose to the regulator. And I'm just going to hook the regulator up to one of the other tanks on my other Tig welder. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know what an inverter-based welder is, what it means is that instead of having a transformer inside, it's got circuit boards, so it's much smaller and lighter weight. And they also use a lot less power. And most of them are dual voltage. And what I like to do when I hook everything up is I turn the valve on the tank, and I turn it off, and I watch to see if the gauge drops to make sure I have no leaks. Then if you think you have leaks, just take dish soap and water and put it in a squirt bottle, and you can go over everything and you'll find the leaks immediately. And then it's very easy to fix that. Yeah, now I have no leaks. And what I find normally with leaks, you can take it apart and put it back together a few times and it stops. Sometimes you can just tighten it down a little bit tighter, but nothing leaks now. Yeah, one thing I didn't realize earlier is how this foot pedal hooks up. It's just like a quick coupler. And then you just pull back on the, let's see if we can see that on camera, and it unplugs. So that makes it real fast and easy to hook that up. Yeah, and it also has this chart on the side that tells you how to set everything up for each different type of metal you're going to weld and what all the settings need to be at. Yeah, so I have this plugged into a 240 volt 20 amp socket with my adapter that I made. And the reason I'm doing it, I just want to make sure it'll work turned all the way up without popping the breaker, because I'm planning on hooking it up to a generator. Okay, so the power switch is on the back. And with a number 6 cup, we want the argon set between 12 and 18, about 2 to 2.5 times. Yeah, now I'm ready to try it out. I made a mistake. Somehow the pre-flow got adjusted way up high, and when I pushed the foot pedal, nothing would happen. So you got to make sure the pre-flow is not too high, the numbers here. Yeah, if you set it way up, I mean real high, like at 5 seconds, you're going to have to hold that pedal down for 5 seconds before it'll strike the arc. Yeah, I'm only going to give it a half a second of pre-flow. And I'm going to weld a 1/4 inch plate, so I'm going to give it 200 amps. and 1 second of post flow. And I'm going to control it by the foot pedal. And here's how it welds. In the very beginning there, I accidentally forgot to turn the argon on. Yeah, you don't ever want to do that also. So that's why this part of the weld doesn't look good, but the rest does. Yeah, so I'm going to try this again. And this machine also has fan on demand, so it's not running all the time. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Yeah, and this time I'm just going to run a bead across that metal, and I cleaned it up good. Yeah, and here's the bead I just did. It looks good. Now I'm going to try it out on some aluminum. Yeah, I found some stainless steel and some aluminum. So first we're going to try it out on stainless steel. This is 16 gauge. I think I'll give it about 80 amps. Yeah, but I've got full control over it over the foot pedal. Yeah, and these are the 3 beads that I made. Yeah, I don't weld stainless steel very often. So now let's try it out on aluminum. Okay, so now I'm going to set it on AC. And we'll give it 125 amps. Because that's 1/8 inch thick. Yeah, and here's the first bead. It didn't come out bad. One thing I forgot to check was the AC balance, which is important. Yeah, the balance was at 30%. That's a good number. So let's try it out again. Yeah, one of them I somehow got it too hot. Yeah, and they recommend 25 on the AC balance. I'm going to try it there and see what happens. Yeah, and I'm using a 2% lanthanated 3/32 tungsten. Yeah, and these bottom three are the ones I just did. Yeah, it's coming out better each time. Yeah, one time I had a local round table pizza. They wanted me to weld their stainless steel pizza oven, but I didn't have a small enough TIG welder to use to do that job. So what I'm planning on doing is setting this up in a vehicle where I can go do mobile jobs with it. And I'll show that in some future video, how I set everything up and the accessories I buy. So this welder works good. Yeah, I like the fan on demand feature. Normally you only see that in the higher end machines. And I will put a link in the description to where you can buy it.